Alrighty guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the Best Investing Money Management channel on YouTube. In today's video, we are going to be talking about why I just bought AMD stock. So I hope you guys enjoy it. If you guys get anything in value out of this video, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, concerns, make sure you guys ask them down below. Now, for those of you that don't know what AMD is, AMD makes a whole bunch of computer parts from graphics cards to, I don't really even know much about computer parts in general, but I know they're a leader in that sector. And over the past couple of years, they've seen extreme growth on revenue and a whole bunch of things. So looking at this stock, you guys can see it has a beautiful, beautiful upward trend. And you can look at this thing, and a couple of years ago, you could have bought this stock for like underneath $20 a share. And now this thing hit as high as $164 before selling off, finding some support here near that $100 mark, and kind of slowly been stair-stepping its way back up here. Now, there is a couple of things you need to understand. If we look at AMD's revenue, AMD's revenue is up pretty decently if we actually look at it. It's up about 48%, which for a growth stock, to be honest, that's about average. That's kind of what we're looking for. The reason why is because anytime you have a stock with, extreme growth like that, you want the revenue and all the other financials to match it. And if you don't have that, then you will have a stock that slowly starts selling off. But now, one of the most important things when evaluating or looking at a stock is cash on hand and long-term debt. And for me, AMD does have quite a bit of cash. They have about $3.6 billion in cash, which is great. So if AMD ever, if they ever go through a rough patch, they have some savings to kind of dive into to continue to reinvest into the company, grow it and grow it and grow it. And yes, they do have a little bit of long-term debt. It's nothing crazy. It's rated about like $10 million for a company that's in the billions. That's kind of very, very, very good. And the reason why is because they have way more cash on hand than long-term debt. So if they ever go through that rough patch, they can easily pay off that debt and continue to grow and innovate. And yes, they do have a decent profit margin, right at about 19%. So what this means is for every $100 AMD brings in, they profit $19.24. For a tech growth stock, that's good. You want it to be around that 20% mark. If we compare it to Apple, Apple's about 28%. But if you also compare it to a company like Visa, which has very, very high margins, their margins at about 50%. So you can clearly see the difference of understanding margin plays a key factor. But if we actually do some technical analysis on this, you can see that this stock had some old resistance up here at that $99, $100 mark. As we continue to look across it, anytime a stock has that old resistance has a tendency to act as new support. So as you guys can see, it hit that old resistance and now classified it as major support. As we continue to look throughout the stock, you can see right here, this thing hit it again, buying pressure. So we understand that this $100 mark is the absolute best for sale sign that AMD has to offer, right? We understand that there's a ton of buying pressure, very hard support. And for me, that's fantastic. The reason why is because I can go in, I can set an alert, and I can be ready, right? That's great. But the next thing you also have to realize is this stock was trading for about $164, and we've seen some sell-off. So yes, we've seen, all of that good growth, but lately we've seen this, a downward price in price action, which isn't the greatest. The trend is your friend when it comes with investing, but you have to look at that long-term trend, right? The long-term trend has this great and beautiful upward growth, right? Which is what we all love. Great upward trend, which is fantastic, but a short-term downward trend. So this could cause a whole bunch of things. The very first thing this thing could cause is, some sort of reversal, which me personally, I think that's what we're due for. I think we'll slowly start getting a breakout of that trend line and start pushing its way back up to this. This right here is the 90 moving average line. This has that tendency very similar to those support and resistance. When the stock is below it, it does have a tendency to act as resistance. When the stock's above it, it has a tendency to act as support. So as you guys can see, it likes to stair step, use it as support, use it as support. Second, the stock falls below it, uses it as resistance, but it does have and breaks out. So for me, I definitely think there is an opportunity on a swing trade aspect from $11 up to about $30. And during that, you're risking about, I would say, $11 to make 30. So that's like a 3-to-1 risk and reward, which is pretty good. That's kind of what you look for swing trading. Anything more than 2-to-1, in my opinion, is worth taking a stab at. But not to mention, guys, this is more than a swing trade, at least for me. I see AMD as being a key player in the computer world, really. And a lot of people like to always say, oh, they're overvalued. Well, I have one question for you. Do you think we are getting more or less dependent on computers? Let that sink in. More or less dependent. Me personally, I think we're getting more and more dependent each and every day on computers and what these things have to do, what these things have to offer us, right? So AMD being that key player, I definitely think there's a lot of opportunity. Yes, we've seen that short-term downward trend. I think I look at this as a for sale sign for me to pick up a couple of shares. When it's low, looking back in 2 to 5 years, I don't want to wish I would have bought some at these prices. And I've been buying AMD for years. So the strategy, dollar cost average it. For me, I just invest. And then when it falls this much, I double what I normally will put in. So guys, a lot of opportunity out in the market. You always have to go with, the approach that you believe in, the strategy that you have. But other than that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe. If you have any questions, concerns, make sure you guys ask them down below. And we will see you guys later. Remember to stay happy, stay positive, and stay safe. Take care, everyone.